Crypto bottom signals all over the place. I'm excited to do this video, everybody, because there's multiple different perspectives you can look at this from. And we're going to look at this from, charting and other different perspective, on-chain data and other things. Doesn't matter if you hold Bitcoin. Doesn't matter if you hold altcoins. We're going to look at the roadmap of crypto right now. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. Let's jump into this video. We're going to dig into all of this data. I've talked a lot about the pendulum swinging in the right direction, whether that's the SEC has just been taking losses over and over, whether that's this Bitcoin chart and pendulum potentially swinging in the right direction right after this Bitcoin halving, whether that's the momentum that we're gaining in Congress, crypto proponents in Congress. Like last cycle this time, we did not have that, right? Things are truly just, the momentum shift is happening. I really think it is. The leading presidential candidate, Donald Trump, building a pro-crypto army. We know all about the anti-crypto army. We've heard about that. We've seen it. Pro-crypto army, Donald Trump. And with that, I want to say, this happened last night, yesterday. This guy, Donald Trump, standing in the way, everybody. There are people and forces that are after our liberties and freedoms and independence. Donald Trump just happens to be standing in the way. That is what's happening. And I want to bring this up, everybody, because this sheds light on so many different things. And I can't not talk about this, even as it applies to crypto. But this sheds light, most importantly, on the evil that we are living in this world. The evil that surrounds us is just showing itself. It's just showing its face as clear as day. And we have to be in prayer because this is a spiritual warfare. That's what this is. This is an eternal thing that is happening. A war for souls. This life is short and eternity is long. And I want to highlight that. We have to be in prayer. And I just want to say, as I'm talking about this right now, the only absolute way to eternal life and to lasting eternal joy is Jesus Christ. That's the story. These things, these moments are historic when it comes to our time here in this world. And it absolutely, what's happening with crypto, this picture is foundational to that as well. And so Trump speaking at the Bitcoin conference in like a couple of weeks. And this picture, I've seen people on the sidelines just like intimidated to talk about Trump, say they're supporting Trump. I've seen people, and you just go on X and you can just see all of this in just happening like in the masses. People that weren't even voting for Trump, they're voting for Trump now. They're done buying the media lies. They're done buying it all. This is a momentum shift. And that's why I'm bringing this up as well, because I want to just talk about that. This is a momentum shift that is taking place right now. And that picture is just, it says a lot. And so when we're talking about, we're talking about crypto, and we're talking about cycles even, and we're talking about what's going to happen with innovation within the United States. It comes down to moments like this, everybody. It really does. Let's dig into the data. Right now, Bitcoin making a move. You can just check it out, 61,692. There it is on the daily. We're going to dive into the charts. What I do want to go over real quick is something we've been tracking real briefly. Willy Woo has been tracking minor capitulation, and he says, are we there yet? Nope. This was July 8th. This was like 6 days ago. We were looking at this. He's talking about this hash ribbon. Kind of they're just converging, consolidating. We're looking for a kind of a shift, a separation. You can see that happened back here in the middle of the screen, that kind of shift and separation for just Bitcoin and the blue line to start shifting back to the upside. Well, he just posted, this was 2 days ago, early signs minor capitulation is ending. Here's what the hash ribbons look like, and you can just start seeing it, right? This way different separation, this way different, I should say, bottoming out type on this ribbon area. And you can truly see a difference between that and what was happening at this time just like 6 days ago. Early signs, minor capitulation is ending, and this was from just yesterday. Germany has no coins, by the way. Mean reversion indicators showing reversal. Not a bad time to stack sats. Lots of bottom signals. And more people, this was yesterday's too. More people donating Bitcoin to the broken German government. It's just, I thought that was funny. People are donating Bitcoin. Germany's out. Minor capitulation almost over. Put that aside. Those are bottom signals. Put that aside. We have bottom signals on this Bitcoin weekly. Look at this. Again, for reference, right here, Bitcoin halving. These yellow lines, Bitcoin halving, Bitcoin halving. Look at the RSI, this weekly oscillator. Check that out. Look at that consolidation right there, right into the halving. And I keep saying this, but I think it is it's an indicator I'm grateful for, because this is something we didn't have last cycle, if we want to put it that way. Meaning, we consolidated through Bitcoin halving from overbought. We've not been, after all of that consolidation down to this level around 45, we've not been overbought after this Bitcoin halving yet. And why is that important? Because every Bitcoin halving, Bitcoin goes to overbought after. And that's the bull run. We haven't had that move yet after the Bitcoin halving, everybody. Right? So it's kind of similar to back here in 2 cycles ago, 2016. We fell into oversold through the halving, and check it out. What happened next? Bull market with crazy consolidations along the way, but that's what happened next, bull market. And this is kind of where we are this cycle around. And then if we go back, and this is kind of what I wanted to do, if you go back and you even look at the cycle, the first Bitcoin halving cycle, 2012 halving right there, that yellow line, I just want to show you something on the daily chart. This is a weekly chart, but I'm going to kind of be looking at this area back here, particularly right here, all of this consolidation that took place right there. So let's go and look at that on the daily chart. So here's Bitcoin. And by the way, I should note, if we look at the daily, Bitcoin currently, not completely out of the woods yet. You can see this 50-day moving average, very big area of resistance, right above 64,000. That's $3,000 away still for Bitcoin. We have to see. Bitcoin could put in some type of lower high kind of in that area, right? But bouncing right off of this area. This is the macro Fibonacci retracement. You go back to the weekly chart, you all know what that is. Those are the bull market doors for Bitcoin. And if we look at bull market high to bear market low, check it out. Bouncing right off. We enter that area, now we're retracing back to it, testing it. This would be just insane timing and insane continuation. If this holds and we continue higher into new all-time highs, into a bull cycle, bull market, all-time highs, that would be insane timing. But going to the daily, there's a move. It's what it looks like. But what I wanted to discuss was, if you zoom out all the way, and I told you I wanted to go back to this kind of 2012 halving. So here's 2020 halving, and we're going far. We're going far back. We're going back to 2016 halving, all the way back here. I just want to point something out. Bitcoin entered this insane environment, right? $13 all the way up to like 200 some, almost $300, and then absolutely crashed 80%. After it crashed 80%, it went on to see gains of 2,400%. Not saying right now we're seeing 2,400% gains from where Bitcoin is. I'm not saying that, but what I want to talk about is this. If we kind of zoom out and look at this, that huge consolidation that Bitcoin went through, we're looking at it was like 100 and I don't know, it looks like around 160 days or so after the Bitcoin halving, that move happened. 80% fall. 80% fall. And then if we look at this, 2016 halving, we had another big fall for Bitcoin, and it was 175 days after the Bitcoin halving, right here. We're talking about a 34% fall or so. And now we go to where we are. We are, what did we say? It's like 80 some days after the Bitcoin halving. And from all-time high, we've fallen around 27% or so. We get these massive dips, and 28%, 25, 30% isn't even that big of a dip in crypto land. But we get these massive dips like every cycle. right? We've talked a lot about last cycle. This was way further into the bull market. This dip that Bitcoin went through, 55% dip before going higher to all-time highs. But no matter what you look at this dip right here, that happened, 350 some days after Bitcoin halving, or you look at this 75 or 80% dip that happened 160 days after Bitcoin halving. What makes this so bullish, Bitcoin just consolidated and dipped, but we're like 80 some days after the Bitcoin halving, right? We're basically almost 3 months after the Bitcoin halving. It's all happening way earlier this cycle with a foundational season in play. And what I mean by that is this. We have this momentum shift happening like we've never seen before. Congress, all these proponents within Congress, and I'm not saying all these awesome laws are about to be passed and approved and all this stuff. Maybe it's not going to happen just yet in this very short term, but we have the people fighting. We have a leading presidential candidate that's pro-crypto speaking at the Bitcoin conference. And we have the SEC losing according to the law. And all of this data that we just looked at is here. I don't know, but to me, that just is an amazing combination of events. And I need to come up with a better word for that to put in the title of this video, because that's what this is. We have an amazing combination of events happening right now. SEC losing, Congress getting momentum, the charts and all these on-chain data metrics lining up. Bitcoin halving just happened. This is where we are. Total crypto market cap. Meant to look at this a little bit sooner, but come on with this chart. Really nice consolidation. It's been grueling. This is monthly chart, everybody. Really, really grueling, right? From the swing high back here. Hasn't even broken all-time high yet. Crazy candle in formation right now. Still 16 days left. I don't know how it's going to close. Would love to see just this turn into an even more bullish looking candle. It's currently red. But what I wanted to point out was, look at what is just now happening. The 20 crossed above the 50, and we're just getting some separation between the two, 20 and 50, as we're consolidating and pulling in. Why am I bringing that up? Because when we get into the parabolic bull market environment, we only have a couple cycles worth of data on this chart, but look at the separation between the 20, the 50 that actually takes place, right? The 20, the 50 last cycle, just a big piece of separation. And that's when, that's right after all-time highs are hit and it's about to fall back down, right? There's that big separation right there at that moment. Right now, we're just now starting to see the two start to kind of separate, get away from each other. And we're just at the beginning of this cycle, according to Bitcoin halving data and historical data in general. So that's total crypto market cap. And if you're an altcoin person, whether you're looking at the Bitcoin roadmap, whether you're looking at this total crypto market cap roadmap, no matter what altcoin you hold, for me, this is what we should be looking at. And this tells the story of what could potentially be in store. I'm obviously very bullish right now on crypto. I say all the time, I should have started with this in the video. I'm bullish, but there's no guarantees. And this is only my view of all of this data. And I could be wrong, right? And I'm always trying to anticipate worst case scenarios and best case scenarios. But I'm just saying, this data that we're looking at has been very strong, consistent, and I'm just really curious to see what happens next, everybody. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate you. Hit the subscribe, hit the like button. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.